What happened to the Igbos was caused by the Igbos knowingly or unknowingly, because over the years they learned to accommodate people by nature, and also that have strike them at the back somehow. So welcome to this channel, everyone. Welcome. Stay tuned from the beginning to the end, and what you are going to gain from this channel is going to surprise you, and you're also going to drop your comment at the comment section what the video through. Let's begin right now. So the Igbos are predominantly in the southeastern part of Nigeria, but that's not where their land stopped. They are mainly in the eastern region of Nigeria and also in other countries, like they are indigenous too. So what I'm here to say is what made the Igbos to suffer a lot this time around concerning their tradition being abused by many people who know nothing about it. Number one, they tend to allow people to look deep and penetrate into their tradition, which is very, very bad, because there are other people that do not allow such in their own custom and tradition, whereby a foreigner or a person who is not from your tribe will start teaching your own tribal people negative things concerning your own religion and concerning your own tradition. What made me to say this is because I went to my uncle's place a few years ago, and what I discovered there was shocking to me concerning the Igbos and the elders of the Igbos. At a church called Mountain on Fire and Miracle Ministry in Onitsha, MCC Junction, around that area, I went there with my brother-in-law, and what I discovered that the pastor that was heading that church at that moment was is a Yoruba man. A Yoruba man leading the congregation of predominantly Ndi Igbo, like predominantly Igbo people, Ndi Igbo, where there are elders over 50 years, over 60 years in the church. There are youths, married men and women, and teenagers with little kids. So he was teaching about the Bible, and deviated from the Bible and entered into the Igbo tradition, condemning it, because over the years we've had issues between the Christians and the traditional practitioners, the indigenous traditional practitioners in Igbo land, who are brothers, but they started having issues because of church and other things. The teaching the man did in the church is, I quote what the man said now. Onye wetara ọjị wetara ndụ, which is an Igbo saying. Onye wetara ọjị wetara ndụ. That means you are giving them your life. And me, when I heard something like this, I was shocked. I looked at my brother-in-law that I went there with. And I asked the guy that, is this what they are teaching in this church? What's this man saying? A person who is not an Igbo man is condemning the Igbo practice. Only that is because the Igbos normally say, "Only wetroji wetrandu." He who brings kola nut brings life, because a kola nut is a sacred something, is an ancient tree in Igbo land. We use it for a lot of things. You can't go to get to marry a lady from any village in Igbo land without bringing kola nut, the original way of doing it. If you want to summon spirits and others, you use kola nut. You want to call on the spirit the deities in the land, you still use kola nut. If you want to do everything, the gathering of kingsmen, gathering of men and youths, and the king's palace or the chief's obiri, you have to bring out kola nut. The first thing, the eldest man will break the kola nut. And he will start saying some positive things, condemning some negative things as affirmation. Then after that, you now begin what you are doing. Then a Yoruba man will open his mouth and tell you that the tradition is bad. That is, as you are giving them that and you are giving them your life. In that way, condemning our tradition, that whoever is listening to it or whichever, because we normally have issue with the Igbos that are born in and brought up in Lagos, condemning that whoever hears such a thing will not want to practice the Igbo tradition the normal way, which is very bad, because the Igbo say that an elderly man is not supposed to be, cannot be at home and something that is not right is happening. The elders in the church kept quiet. Nobody stood up to say anything concerning that. Nobody stood up to condemn what the man is saying. Nobody stood up to correct him. Because a person like that may not have a say in the affairs going on in the community. Because I know a lot of Yoruba people that takes their tradition serious. And you can't come online and condemn their own tradition. But they, in the name of Christianity, are condemning your own practice. And you keep quiet as an elder. This is one of the things that made the youth to get angry with the elders. And the next thing you hear that the youth don't have respect. You don't respect your elders. You don't do this, you don't do that. An elder that is supposed to direct the youth in the right way, correct every mistake that they are making, because you lived before them. If you are older than a youth with up to 40 years or 50 years, you've lived more than twice the youth's life, or 3 times, and you keep quiet, and they will be saying such thing concerning the Igbo tradition. If not that there are many youths that are standing strong in the tradition, like the Igbo tradition may fade away. The earlier our people learn to correct this, the earlier our people learn to control themselves, the earlier our people learn not to tolerate every disrespect on our tradition, the Igbos will grow very well. Because our problem most times are is caused by us. Because if someone would throw a direct insult at you and you keep quiet, you do it another day. But if a person throws something like that to you and you rise against that person, he or she will never try that again. So please, if you have watched this video to this extent, like, share, subscribe, and comment. And also tell me if what I'm saying is wrong or right. Because this is my observation and I've seen a lot of things concerning that. Thank you very much, and watch the rest of the videos.